Hello guys, welcome to All About Dating Site. Today we're gonna go and... Wait, this is not the video. Oh, I got my schedule all mixed up lately. What were we doing again? Oh yeah, the characters that could come back for Transformers 6. How could I have forgotten? Anyways guys, so today I'm basically gonna be talking about the characters that could come back with Transformers 6. And no, I'm not talking about Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Crossers, those guys, because we know they're alive. I'm talking about the older people, like those that we think are dead, like Arcee, and those that are confirmed dead, like Sideways. We're gonna be talking about them and why or how they could come back. So yeah, that's the main purpose of this video. By the way guys, some of you have been asking me to do a Sideways Wasted Potential. I will totally do it as soon as the Twins Wasted Potential gets 500 likes. Like, that's your goal. 500 likes and Sideways Wasted Potential right away. Not really. As soon as it gets 500 likes, I will totally upload it right away. Anyway, so let's start with this. So our first character that could come back is Nitro Zeus. Now you guys are thinking, but Nitro Zeus is dead. I mean, Bumblebee gonna shut his head off. Well, yes, Nitro Zeus will sorta come back because in the toys, the Nitro Zeus body, his head can be removed and you can put a Headmaster head in there. Now, this could just be like a toy feature, but the only Headmaster, like the only toy in the toy line that can do that is Cogman, since he basically has the Headmaster feature as to he can transform into a head and you can plug it into another character, another transformer, a larger transformer actually. So while this is not 100% confirmed, we are led to believe that Cogman after the battle is gonna, search the wreckage and he's gonna find Nitro Zeus's body intact, without the head of course. So he's gonna take over it and he's gonna basically wear Nitro Zeus's body. It's gonna be kinda weird because you're basically wearing someone else's body except their head. It's gonna be kinda weird and disturbing. So far we still don't know if this is gonna happen. It could happen because the toys kind of mandate everything, so there's a pretty high chance that we're gonna see Nitro Zeus's body come back at least. Next is Mohawk. Well, you guys know the drill. If we don't see them die, then they're not dead. At least that's what The Walking Dead makes us believe. But yeah, I mean, Mohawk did get his entire body shot off and he's just a head talking. It's kind of weird because they need a spark to live, and without a spark, Mohawk shouldn't be alive. But then again, he's really skinny and everything, so maybe he has his spark on his head, I wanna say. Or maybe it's one of those Galvatron situations as to, oh wow, the plot demands it, so I'm still alive. Regardless, I still think Mohawk is gonna come back in some way. Definitely. If not, just to get killed or finish off. Next up is Starscream. Now, Starscream hasn't been that huge of a character in the movies, and in Transformers 5 we saw his head intact nonetheless. Now you guys are thinking, how could Starscream come back? Well, Starscream has this annoying tendency to die and come back. In G1 he came back as a ghost. In Energon basically he came back. Basically the point is that he always comes back. And the fact that we have his head intact, it's intact basically, so his brain could be functioning. So for all we know, we could transfer Starscream's consciousness into another droid, kind of like Megatron did with Galvatron to revive himself basically. But yeah, the fact that they even bothered to put Starscream in the film, that has to be a sign. So I'm gonna go on a wild guess and just argue that Starscream is definitely coming back for Transformers 6. If not Transformers 6, then a spin-off or Transformers 7, who knows. The next character is quite a controversial one, Sentinel Prime. No. I know a lot of you guys hate Sentinel Prime, and I understand, and I also don't like him myself because he's the son of a glitch who killed IRONHIDE. Anyway, so I think Sentinel Prime will come back because as of the last night, we are led to believe that Sentinel Prime had some kind of connection to Quintessa. I mean, the entire plot of, using Earth to revive Cybertron was basically the same plot from Transformers 3. Sentinel Prime trying to use Earth to revive Cybertron. So that's why I'm led to believe that at least we're gonna get a cameo, or maybe we're gonna get a prequel with Sentinel Prime in it. Because I feel like Well, we haven't seen the last of him. In Transformers 3, I would have said that yes, we're not gonna see Sentinel Prime anymore. But as of the last night, there's some things that need to be explained, especially with Quintessa, Megatron, and Sentinel Prime. Like, we don't know their relationship. We don't know how they met, if they started planning like long ago, if they started the war, basically. We don't know. There's a lot of, holes that need to be filled. So that's why I'm saying that Sentinel Prime will come back. Next up is Shockwave. Now, I bet you guys didn't see this one coming. Now, you guys are probably saying, how can Shockwave come back? Well, it's actually quite simple. In Transformers Age of Extinction, we saw a lot of Shockwave clones, which they are uncreatively known as Two Heads. And we see a bunch of them throughout the film. I count at least 4. One was killed by Hound, another one was killed by the Dinobots, I think. I don't remember very well. And I remember there was one towards the end that was trying to basically, kill Optimus after he killed Lockdown. And Optimus set his explosion and killed most of the KSI drones. But we never saw that one KSI drone die. We never saw that one Shockwave clone die. And to top it all off, out of all the KSI drones, the Shockwave clone, it's purple. Like G1. Now that could be a reference. Or could they probably be sending one of the Two Heads to become a new Shockwave that will resemble more of his G1 counterpart? That's my theory, and I think it's highly ridiculously likely. Because in the last night we saw there are still some KSI drones just running around China or some of those places. And you could argue that those are probably some just generic Autobots and Decepticons. But they could have just used any CGI model. But instead they decided to go with KSI drones. So there's still some KSI drones out there. And I'm pretty sure Shockwave is one of those KSI drones right now. He's just on the sidelines, buying his time, probably building himself a new body. But I will definitely go ahead and say that we have not seen the last of Shockwave. Alright, and next is Dino and Sideswipe. Now, as for these two, I'm really not sure if we're gonna see them again. I mean, KSI kill Autobots and Decepticons alike, in plural, so we gotta imagine that they probably killed a few Autobots, not just Leftfoot and Ratchet. So I'm guessing that probably Dino is confirmed dead, so he's probably not gonna come back. But Sideswipe is a tricky one. If you remember, in the video I uploaded a while ago covering the Transformers tournament, we saw Sideswipe in the list of fan favorites and on the Autobot side. Now, on the Autobot side, all the characters that we see are confirmed alive, except for Ironhide and Sideswipe, who's unknown. But the mere fact that they included Sideswipe, a secondary character, a character that wasn't part of the main 5 Autobots in the first movie, a character who in the second movie was kind of, just in the background, and by the third movie, like, he had his moment, but he didn't really do much. I think Hasbro knows that Sideswipe is a fan favorite character, even though he didn't win the tournament. Just killing him off would probably be such a waste that I cannot see them killing Sideswipe off. I think he will probably come back in the future. As to what he's doing right now, we don't know. But in the European top collector cards, they told us that Cemetery Wind basically killed Sideswipe and that the Autobots saw the footage of him dying. Now, we never saw this in the film, and comics and outside sources tend to be, misleading or a little bit hard to determine if they're canon. But I used to strongly believe that Sideswipe is in fact dead and we're not gonna see him again. But I don't know. If they brought back Starscream and Leftfoot, why can't they bring Sideswipe back? So far we know that only Topspin and Roadbuster are the only, Dark of the Moon Autobots to be alive, and Brains and Willy, of course. So I guess it just makes sense to have, Sideswipe being there too. Next is Soundwave. This reason's gonna add up to Shockwave, like it's gonna convince you even more what he could come back. In Transformers The Last Night, when Harvard kidnaps Vivian, she says, "So please tell me one of the famous ones. Shockwave, Soundwave, which one are ya?" And Harvard says, "I'm better than any of them." Now, why would she say, "Are you Shockwave or Soundwave"? Shouldn't she know that those guys are dead? In Age of Extinction, Kate told us that he knows that Megatron died in the Battle of Chicago, so it's public knowledge that the main leader of the Decepticons are dead. The main leaders. It doesn't make sense to announce, "Oh, the leader is dead," but the lieutenants are still out, but we don't know what the lieutenants. Don't worry about them. It doesn't make sense to hide the public from, you know, the fact that the Decepticons are dead. In fact, this kind of makes it sound like she knows that Shockwave and Soundwave are still around, because it wouldn't be public knowledge that those two will still be alive. Cause the way she says, "Are you one of the famous ones, Shockwave and Soundwave?" We know they're dead, so it doesn't make sense why she would say that in the first place. Let me say, "Hey, are you one of the two famous Transformers that died in the battle?" No, they're dead. So obviously I'm someone else. You get what I'm saying, right? And just because they mentioned those two names, and they mentioned Starscream, and they brought back Barricade and Megatron, so many callbacks to the previous films in the last night. So could this be a hint that they're still alive, or do you think they're just setting up something? I personally think that Shockwave is in fact alive at this point, but Soundwave's a bit tricky. All we have is BBN's line to go on. But in the previous continuities, when Soundwave dies, he usually comes back as Sound Blaster. So why can't the same thing happen right here? Now, most likely than not, Soundwave got turned into a KSI drone. Because they did it to Shockwave, so why not Soundwave? And probably Shockwave's gonna try and bring Soundwave back. Maybe some of the KSI drones survived, like we saw the last night, and that's how Soundwave comes back. I will say that the chances for Soundwave to come back are almost as high as Shockwave's. Almost, of course, not as high. For the last one, or should I say last ones, Arcee, Chromia, and Elita 1. So, if you follow the comics, Elita 1 got killed by Shockwave, and Chromia and Arcee are just unknown. We don't know what happened to them. And if you follow the movie, Arcee got, shot down by one of the Bone Crusher clones, and Elita 1 got shot down by some Decepticon, and Chromia, she's unknown. Now, according to their bio, Arcee, Chromia, and Elita 1 share one mind. They all have each other's memories, so Chromia could pull a Galvatron and, use her memories of her sisters to, revive them in a way. Kind of like Galvatron. I know this is kind of a stretch, and even if it doesn't happen, Chromia could be the new Arcee. Chromia is blue, and Arcee in Transformers Prime is also blue. Why am I bringing this up? Well, in Age of Extinction, there was a couple of references to Transformers Prime. The way some of the Autobots look. Bulkhead is clearly Hound. Bumblebee at the beginning, he had more of that Transformers Prime look. And the last night was basically Transformers Prime, with the whole, Unicron being Earth. So they're clearly taking inspiration from Transformers Prime. It's not much of a stretch to think that Chromia will decide to, become Arcee or something, or maybe she could still come back and look like Transformers Prime Arcee. Or option number 2, she just, gets 2 bodies and transfers her sister's, memories, consciousness to those other 2 bodies, essentially bringing them back. Because they all share their minds, they all are basically connected. The comics especially touch this very topic. When Arcee got injured, the other sisters felt it. Like, they all share their pain, they all share their experiences, their everything. So it's not much of a stretch to think that even if Arcee and Elita 1 die, Chromia, Chromia still has their minds on their head or something. I don't know. But I really think that the Arcee sisters could really come back. If, they decide to go that route, they could definitely be brought back, and I think the fans will really enjoy that. So Hasbro, if you're watching this video, you better bring them back. But that's it for this video, guys. I know I skipped quite a few, but this video is turning out to be quite long, so I decided to make it a bit shorter. If you guys want, I can cover more, in another episode. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts in the comments down below.